Hello, happy holidays. You're watching ERi-TV and welcome to English News Broadcast. These are the top stories. President Alpha Conde returns home. The Ministry of Agriculture indicates over 50 million tree seedlings planted nationwide since 2006. The global COVID-19 case and vaccination coverage continue to rise. And Israel pounds Gaza with air raids and shelling. The local news. President Alpha Conde of the Republic of Guinea returned home in the morning hours today, concluding a two-day working visit to Eritrea on the invitation of President Isaias Afwerki. President Alpha Conde and his delegation, accompanied by President Isaias Afwerki, visited water infrastructure and agricultural projects in the Dubarwa subzone. In the meeting at the State House yesterday evening, the two heads of states, recognizing that Africa is facing numerous challenges and problems, but at the same time gifted with greater endowments and opportunities, agreed to work together for the promotion of cooperation among the African states and the renaissance of the African continent. The two leaders also agreed to cooperate in the political, diplomatic, and developmental sectors, especially in education and health. President Alpha Conde also invited President Isaias Afwerki to pay a visit to Guinea. Over 50 million tree seedlings have been planted throughout the country since the government of Eritrea initiated a national greening campaign in 2006. This is according to the Ministry of Agriculture. In a message sent to ERINA in connection with May 15, the National Greening Campaign Day, the Ministry of Agriculture indicated that forestation activities that are gauged in terms of the size of the area and time are conducted annually. So far, about 150,000 hectares of terraces, as well as over 400,000 cubic meters of diversion canals, have been constructed through the greening campaign. They pointed out that there was only one green club at the onset of the National Green Campaign, and that currently that has increased to over 580 green clubs, mainly student-centered. The Ministry of Agriculture said that even though the number is encouraging, every school, as well as government and religious institutions, are expected to establish green clubs in respect to the government guideline. The message also highlighted that the expansion of smokeless oven, or adhanet, is part of the National Greening Campaign, and that currently 50% of the families that use wood as an energy source have become beneficiaries, and over 170,000 adhanet smokeless stoves have been constructed nationwide. Furthermore, the message says that as part of the greening campaign, the establishment of communal and national reserve areas has witnessed a gradual increase, contributing to the increase of wildlife and biodiversity. But only 30% of the planted reserved areas are so far established nationwide. The National Greening Campaign that was initiated 15 years ago, aside from encouraging achievements, has encountered several challenges, including deforestation activities. The Ministry of Agriculture also indicated that over 4 million tree seedlings have been prepared to be planted during the rainy season, and called on the society and stakeholders to play due part in the successful implementation of the tree planting program. The Vocational Training Center in Everest organized a 6-month vocational training to 150 youths, including 99 females, in various fields. The training program included construction, irrigation, farming, electronics and electricity maintenance, bookkeeping, basic computer and graphics, as well as still and video camera. Stating that the trainees have been away from attending regular education due to various reasons, Mr. Osman Abdu, director of the center, said that the objective of the program was to enable the youth to become self-supportive and productive members of the society. The managing director of the SABZA, Mr. Kibra Abtasfation, and head of the Ministry of Education branch, Mr. Ma'akale Al-Azhar, called on the trainees to upgrade their skills through practice and become agents of change to their peers. The Everest Vocational Training Center has so far provided training to 588 youths in various fields. Now back with international news after a short break. Welcome back. The total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases globally surpassed 162.3 million today, with the deaths still exceeding 3.3 million. And the number of recovered patients has exceeded 140.1 million, this according to World Meters. India's total COVID-19 case has passed 24.3 million after another world record number of daily infections as grave diggers worked around the clock to bury victims. Regarding COVID-19 vaccine, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for the need to double the capacity of COVID-19 vaccine production and for fair redistribution of the shots in the developing world, which faces new waves of the coronavirus. Many countries are experiencing shortages of the vaccine, especially India, worsening a dire second wave of infections that has left hospitals and morgues overflowing. The World Health Organization has urged rich countries to reconsider plans to vaccinate children and instead donate COVID-19 shots to the COVAX scheme that shares them with poorer nations. Israel continued today to bombard the Gaza Strip with air raids and artillery shells as it stepped up the deployment of troops and tanks near the besieged Palestinian enclave. At least 120 Palestinians, including 31 children, have been killed. More than 900 wounded since hostilities flared up on Monday. Hundreds of Palestinian families have taken shelter in UN-run schools in northern Gaza to escape Israeli artillery fire, with residents reporting that the Strip had experienced its most violent night. Despite international calls for an immediate halt of all hostilities, including from United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu pledged the offensive will continue as needed to restore calm in the state of Israel. Hamas fired another barrage of rockets towards Israel, hitting the city of Ashkelon in the early hours today. At least 6 Israelis and 1 Indian national have been killed. The Israeli army said hundreds of rockets have been fired from Gaza towards various locations in Israel. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro is willing to sit down to dialogue with opposition leader Juan Guaido with the involvement of the Norwegian government and other mediators. This according to a statement he made on state television. Opposition spokesman said that Norway had been facilitating contact between the two sides as a pioneer to mediating potential talks to resolve the country's ongoing humanitarian and economic crisis. Freddy Guevara, a member of Guaido's team, said that this is a process that has already started, and adding that there will be many meetings in search of an agreement to ease Venezuela's crisis after a 7-year recession and 4 years of hyperinflation. Basic public services continue to crumble and Venezuelans continue to immigrate, following in the footsteps of over 5 million who have already left the country. Guaido invoked the constitution to declare himself president in 2019 and has been recognized as the head of state by the United States and other Western countries. Swiss and American climbers have died on Mount Everest. This is according to hiking company officials, the first fatalities in the world's highest peak this season. Abdul Warecha, 41 of Switzerland, and American Paui Liu, 55, died of exhaustion while descending the slopes of more than 8,000 meters mountain. Warecha, who was on his way down after reaching the summit, died near the south summit, according to Chang Dua Sherpa, another official of the company. Liu could not reach the summit of Everest and died on descent near the 7,000 meters camp at the South Col after suffering snow blindness and exhaustion. Nepal has issued a record 408 permits to climb Everest in April and May climbing season after last year's closure due to the COVID-19 pandemic. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.